What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Realistic Career Mode. It's episode number 20. Loads to get through today on the back of the dramatic penalty shootout win over Hull in the FA Cup 4th round. We'll have the 5th round at home to Wolves at the King Power. Before we get to know more big games in the Premier League, it's been a reasonably decent unbeaten run for the Foxes. Let's keep it going. First game, Aston Villa away as we face Unai Emery's side. 13 minutes to go, still dead up to 0. It's been an awful episode opener today, unfortunately. But it's games like this as Pau Torres heads half chance wide, where I realise we're just not at a level yet to be a European team. The board at the start of the season finished 5th place. Any chance of us finishing in 7th place come the end of the season now requires us to go on an epic run. And whilst our unbeaten streak is looking good, this is going to be 7 games in a row without defeat in all competitions. Ultimately, the only way to make Europe is by turning these draws into wins, as Julio Cesar couldn't provide it late. It's going to finish goalless in our first game today, and whilst back in Season 1, I would have called it a really good point on the road at Villa Park, nowadays we realise that's not going to make us a European team for the following season. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely doable. You see the league table here, 13 games to go. There's only 5 points between us and Manchester United in 7th place right now. The really poor goal scoring record could come to hurt us come the end of the season based on how tight it is. But again, you look at the teams that are above us in the table right now, and I'd say maybe with the exception of Leeds, every team is statistically stronger. So it's going to be very, very tough for us to leapfrog all of those teams and finish a European spot, but we'll give it our best shot, and if we are going to get there, we've got to go on a winning run, not just an unbeaten run. Following contest back at the King Power, Brighton coming to Leicester. This has to be a win if we're to have any chance. Capaldo to Fatawu, and I literally have no idea how quickly that happened, but it did, and Ramos makes it what? Wow. There was one man back for the Foxes and everyone else was gone. And don't get me wrong, that's poor from me losing the ball, but why was Jacob Greaves left more alone than Doxy Boy on Valentine's Day? Literally no one was helping him out. Brighton have the opener, and as things stand out, unbeaten run going to end here after 7. And again, I'll say it, there's no way we make Europe without wins in these games, let alone losses. Just to the edge, controlled. And Brighton are playing with such pace in terms of the movement of the ball, and it's when that happens, I don't know if you just caught that there on the attack, but when that happens, it feels as though the AI have kind of stepped it up from ultimate to super ultimate. It's one thing for them to be accurate with their passing and their moving and their footwork, but when they can do it at such pace like this, watch this here from Werther, look at that, absolutely amazing. That's when you know, okay, they've definitely kicked it up a gear, they're in overdrive. 2-0 up, Brighton double the lead, and yeah, unbeaten run definitely ending. And I'd also say European dreams definitely ending today. Definitely don't think we've got it in us to do it now, especially not in the position we'll be in on the back of this defeat. But again, the truth is, and we said this before, we're just not at that level yet, really. Like, let's be honest here. Jorginho Rutter is going to make it free. We're not at Brighton's level, let alone one of the Manchester clubs or Arsenal or Liverpool or whatever. Like, we're not there yet. So I said this at the start of the season, but the 5th place objective from me, from the board, was really unrealistic. And you know what I'd like to see is dynamic objectives in career mode. I'd like for the board to say halfway the season, do you know what, I think maybe we were a bit ambitious pre-season, saying finishing Europa League spot, when at the time, halfway through, we were in, what, 14th place? We're 13th now, I think. So, yeah, I'd like the dynamic objectives from the board. And conversely, when you're doing better, they might, up the objective for you. Say you're on the brink of finishing in top 4, like Forest, for example, and saying, now, if you can hold on to top 4, then we'll give you more money to work with in January, or something like that, for example. Dynamic board objectives during the season. I think that would be a really good addition from EA. Iwobi to Buonanotte. And Facundo finds Stefan. The ex-Liverpool man that we signed from Burnley offloads to Fatawu. We'll come back to Capaldo. Through the gap is Sumaro. We've actually played some good football out there. I know it sounds crazy at 3-0 down. We played some good football. We just haven't taken our chances, whereas Brighton have been clinical on the other end. We'll get a good one here, though, through Rafiu Durasimbi, and he has got one back. 18 to go. Is the great comeback on? Alves to Vardy off the bench. One of his only appearances of the season. One of his final appearances of the season. Finds Fatawu. There's James Justin off the bench on the overlap. And Vardy has become my oldest goal scorer ever. And with 10 to go, we could do this, man. It's not over yet. Yeah, he's not the oldest goal scorer in Premier League history. That will be Teddy Sheringham at 40 and nearly 41 when he scored for West Ham all those years ago. As Ramos is denied by Ramsdale. It would have been a dagger, not that he needs it, but it is my oldest goal scorer ever. I've never had a player 40 plus score a goal for me in career mode. I have now, and it's Jamie Vardy who has got it. Maybe his final goal for the club. Unfortunately, it comes in vain. Heck of a fight back to drag it back to a single goal deficit, but unfortunately, we still come away with no points. Our undefeated run ended by Brighton, and I think proof there that, especially defensively, we probably aren't at the level required to be a top 7 team. Let's jump out of this one and into the following game. Tuesday night off to North London. Spurs away from home, taking on Postecoglou's side. And yeah, if we can't get back to winning ways here on the back of none in our last 2, then yeah, no doubt about it, we definitely won't be finishing in a European spot. Spurs away next. I'm not sure if I was able to show it pre-game, but if not, I'll include on the screen right now Calvin Bassey requesting a transfer due to an apparent lack of game time. Yeah, I mean, he's played 20 games this season. I wouldn't call that a lack of game time personally. And I get it. When a player's on a crucial squad role, of course they want to play every game, but, you know. Sorry that I left you out of that Carabao Cup trip to Portman Road, Calvin. Sorry that I can't play you every single game, so I need to rotate the squad, mainly for fitness reasons. Like, this is another thing. I just mentioned there a feature request, dynamic board objectives, but let me talk to the players. Like, seriously. There's a reason why you haven't played every single game, Calvin Bassey. It's because I don't want your energy to drop down to 0 as Brennan Johnson ripples the side netting. Like, that to me is a major issue of the 8. And the fact that, oh, it's such a cheap corner giveaway. The fact that you can't, you know, explain that to them, and you can't get them to remove a transfer request over time, yeah, that's a big issue that EA have had for a while now, and that needs to be changed. Admittedly, EA have improved it slightly, because I remember last year, I still remember it, and I always use this example, but I did a Swansea career mode, and I signed Evan Ferguson in August, and in September he'd requested a transfer, because I didn't play him in the 3 Champions League games, and it was like, bro, like, you've played every single Premier League game. And in the European games, we won them all anyway. You know, we didn't need you. Like, it's been 2 months, Evan. You haven't even found a place to live yet. You're still sleeping at the training ground. It's like, come on. Seriously. So it has improved, but it's still a little too strict in my opinion. And again, the fact that you can't talk to the players, that's where the main issue lies. I don't have an issue with them requesting a transfer, but if I can talk them around over time, that's fine, you know? Anyway, Antoine Griezmann, last year's player of the season. What a goal that is from the Frenchman. That's an amazing strike. If Fulham do end up missing out on European football next season of any kind, I don't know if Calvin Bassey will stay at Craven Cottage, because he's a great player. He's a really great player. I've always been a big fan. And I think he and Iwobi, they've got a fantastic relationship. The vibes in that Fulham dressing room, as we've seen, Snapchat FC, are so immaculate. And obviously, living in London, I've said this before, it's a big draw for players to be able to live in a place like London. I'm not sure if he'd stay or go, but I guess we'll see. It'll be an interesting summer window for Fulham, if they can keep hold of some of their players. Oh, ref, come on! Seriously. Don't think it'd be a red straight booking, but Vardy was 3 for 2 in 2 there. You know, on another night, that could have been a straight red for Van der Ven, because Vardy might not have the pace he used to have back in his younger years, but still would have backed him to go through one-on-one, but that's it now. Griezmann gets his second. Ramsdale probably should have saved that one, really, but that's going to do it. Antoine Griezmann, even at his advancing age, still has the technical ability. Spurs tune it up. There's Iwobi. Has his shot blocked, and Vardy has his shot blocked, and that's going to do it. Back-to-back defeats, no wins in 3. Yeah, wrap it up. We ain't making Europe. So that means the top 10 is realistically the best we'll be able to do this season, I would say. But to be fair, the season, whilst it might be dwindling in the league, with mid-table looking like where we'll finish again, FA Cup, we're still in this. Got the last 16 here against Wolves. Make it through, and we'll be back in the quarter-final for the second time in 3 years. Let's get through to the last 8. Come on, the Foxes. And having said all of that, you know, the one thing I literally just forgot about is that if hypothetically, now this is a big if, this is a big hypothetical here, but if we were to go all the way and win the Champions League, win the FA Cup, sorry. Oh, it's Brandon Otte almost got us a goal up 4 minutes in. That is a qualifier for the Europa League. So, you know, it's how Manchester United did last season. Don't forget, that's how they qualified for Europe this year. So, technically, there is still a shot at European football. But I think any chance of us doing it in the league now is slim to none. Our best shot now is by winning this. Great start here. And that should have been the opener. Still, it's going to be hard enough to get through this round, let alone going all the way to win it. And that's always been a big issue for me, you know. It's like I'm an outcome-based person, and so as Buonanotte's shot is blocked by Totti Gomez, I often get so hung up on what things could be in the future that I forget I've got a lot of work to do in the present. So before I think about lifting the FA Cup with Leicester come the end of the season, and before I think about playing in the final at Wembley, before I think about getting there in the semi-final too, how about focusing on getting through this round into the quarters? And Sumare agrees. Opener for Leicester right before the break, but as things stand, we will be going there if we hold on to this. It's always been a major issue for me. You know, I literally just can't seem to enjoy the moment, if you will. You know, I'm always thinking about how can I make things better for the future as Durasimi doubles up for the Foxes. My mum is like the polar opposite for this. We were talking about this recently, obviously it was my father's funeral last week, and we were talking about where our kind of like characteristics come from in the family. And my mum is literally the most happy-go-lucky kind of person you'll ever meet. Like quite literally, she's always alright, you know what I mean? No matter what situation she finds herself in. Whereas for me, I can never enjoy anything. I'm always like, no, I've got to get here. I've got to do this. I've got to get here. And it's like, bro, seriously, calm it down, you know? It's the same this season. We're in the last 16 as things stand going through to the quarterfinals. That's what the ball wanted, last 16. But I'm sitting there saying, no, we've got to go all the way this season. It's the final 15 minutes, still leading by 2 as Kone's corner is headed up. Keeps. There we go, thank you very much. Yeah, that's going to do it. And with 13 to go, unless we just gift Wolves a couple of goals, we are going through to the quarterfinals. The second year in 3. And again, the board said last 16. Last 16. Those objectives haven't changed since season 1. But this is the most impressive thing in the save, I'd say, right now. 2 years in 3, going to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. Don't ask me what happened last year. I don't want to remember it. But we've certainly made up for it this season as Facundo puts the icing on the cake with a third. A while without a goal for Facundo. He's back on the score sheet. Leicester 3, Wolves 0. That's the KO blow. Wolves knocked out. Fox is heading through. Quarterfinals. Here we come. And I'll say it. If we go all the way, it's a big if, but if we go all the way, that will be European football of the King Power next season. Before we get there though, let's see who we got in the last 8. And that is low-key one of the best performances of the save as well. We were really solid in that game. Composed defensively, haven't said that for a while, but also good going forward as well. So there's still a few fixtures to play, so we'll do one advance in the calendar and we'll see who we'll take on in the quarterfinals. And before our next league game, we'll see our opponents now for what is, again, the most important competition remaining. And it's one of the toughest we could have. Every time we've been there, we've been beaten. Chelsea away at the Bridge. And as you'll be seeing as well, just had a bid for Calvin Bassey from Spurs. So annoying I can't talk to him and talk him round. But to be fair, this is a really realistic offer here. I know he'd want to stay in London if he was to leave Fulham. So he'll be going back to the capital to play under Postecoglou. And right now they're going for a Champions League play. So to me, I'll say this is a realistic offer. Unfortunately, 25 mil, quite low in modern day football, the best I could do. Right, 3 more scouting updates as we enter March. And you see, we'll keep scouting these 4 players here in England. And from Austria, we'll keep scouting these 2 players here. And from Timor-Leste, we'll keep on scouting this player as well. Right, following game, Leeds away at Ellen Road. And whilst I said earlier, there's basically no chance of us now finishing in a European spot in the Premier League. I still would like a top 10 finish for the first time in the save. But if we are going to do that, we need to go on a winning run. And after no wins in our last 3 and only 1 point taken from a possible 9, we can do a big 3 points here at Ellen Road. Leeds away next. We are into the final 5 minutes, and I must say, this has been absolutely awful. I thought the Aston Villa game today was terrible. This is even worse. Whilst it would be a decent clean sheet, 2nd in 4 in the league, ultimately, it's going to be 4 games without a win, 2 points taken for a possible 12. Until Leslie pops up with the winner with 30 seconds of stoppage time to play. Foxes stealing at Ellen Road with virtually the final kick and get a win that will keep our very, and I mean very faint, European dreams alive. Dear oh dear, get on the coach, get out the ground. We have just robbed 2 points at Ellen Road because Lord knows we don't deserve that. That is awful. Right, let's do a couple more so we can end on that FA Cup quarter-final away at Stamford Bridge. Following game, Newcastle at home. And, you know, there is an outside shot. There is an outside shot of a top 7 finish. But if we are going to do it, we've got to win the majority of our games. And a big one here against Eddie Howe's Magpies. Newcastle, next up. It's doable. It's definitely doable. But it's... ooh... Going to be very difficult indeed. And again, I think we need to win the vast majority of our remaining games, and we're going to be very lucky to win this one with Alexander up top for Newcastle, as you know is my arch nemesis on FC 25 alongside Victor, the Swedish duo of Steffi Mamadidi. Oh, what a finish! Gives Leicester the lead. But it is still possible. It's a slim shot, but it is still possible. Steffi with the opener. Put him up top in this game because, I mean, you know, Duracimbi can't play every game. His stamina's not good enough to do that. Bale hasn't scored all season long. Vardy's only got one. So I think operating with a Mavididi or a Buonanotte or possibly even a Fatawa or Iwobi as the striker might prove to be the best decision when Duracimbi needs a breather. Because Vardy, I know he scored against Spurs, but at this point he's done at 40. But that was guaranteed to happen today. I can't stop him. It's too late to start now, but like I said before, I wish I did start earlier, tracking the stats of the goals between Alexander Isak and Victor Gyökeres. Because like I said before, oh come on, what a response. Every single game I faced them, one of them gets a goal against me. Heck of a first half, just leading by 1 minute. It's going to be another goal before the break, and there it is, right on cue. Cocu drills it past Ramsdale. 4 goals in 40 minutes, an average of a goal every 10 minutes. Great GCSE maths there, Doxy boy. And it's 2-2. But this is what's going to stop us qualifying for Europe. We've had 2 separate leads in one half, and we haven't held on to either of them. That can't happen as Buonanotte is denied. We've got to be stronger. Samuel to Caicedo. Dinks it. You know who he's looking for. Why wouldn't he look for him? I've said it once. I've said it 10 times. I think I've said it about 100 times in this year's FC. He and Vic are quite literally unstoppable. That's all you got to do. Float the ball into the middle. Two blue shirts guarding him. Doesn't matter. Chest, volley, goal. Newcastle coming from behind to probably win it at a king power. It's going to be 4. It's going to be 4. Samuel, what a strike. What a strike. And there is the dagger. To have had 2 separate leads against the Magpies this afternoon, yet lose the game by 2 goals, tells you all you need to know. We've had a decent season, don't get me wrong, but coming into the business end of it now, there is no way, absolutely no way, even after that great win against Leeds, that we are going to be a European team next season for a top 7 finish. The only way we can do it is by winning the FA Cup, because we'll end on this. We'll do very well to make Wembley and the semi-finals. Our final game today will be Chelsea Werther Bridge. I think they were the team that knocked us out in season 1 in the FA Cup quarter-final. Now we're looking for revenge. We're taking on Maresca's side. We've never beaten them, and we've never won here. Chelsea Werther Bridge, our final game today, FA Cup quarter-final. Do we have enough time to squeeze this in? Well, it's a bit too late now, isn't it? I've already started. Hey, listen, if there's no action at all in the game until the 90th minute and we win with a deflected effort, I'll be more than happy with that. There's Nolly down the right-hand side, rolls it in, and then Iñaki Peña says, no, there'll be at least something early doors, and a save by me. 10 minutes in, still 0-0, but yeah, this is going to be a very, very tough ask to get through here as the big underdogs. Having said that, I do think we'll get chances. Including here, great save, Carnesecchi. In the pass, should have shot it. Cleared away. Coley to Araujo. And now Fatawu takes over. 7 to play. I must say, not much going on other than the early 2 chances for either side. But as things stand, extra time on the cards. And I won't be saying no to that, especially after we knocked out Hull on pens in the 4th round. Unfortunately, Chelsea might have one last chance to win it as I've given the ball away. Nicholas Jackson finds Noni down the right-hand side. This will be cruel. This will be cruel. It's Palmer. It's Edison. It's Jackson Peña with the save, and Araujo prevents the corner, and that will do it. Big stop by Iñaki, and that will force extra time. 30 more minutes, or are we having our second penalty shootout of the season in the FA Cup? Araujo, long throw. One last chance of the half here for Leicester to possibly... He's on there. Take the lead, Buonanotte! We are 5 minutes into stoppage time of only 1 minute allocated. Maresca fuming, Dogsy smiling, Leicester lucky, but also Leicester lead. How many times have we seen a goal get scored by the AI way past the allocated minutes of stoppage time, and I've been absolutely livid? Well, I think it's safe to say karma has worked out for me in my favour there. Oh, ball. Oh, pen. Every single day. Oh, come on! And Leicester can go 2-0 up. Hinkeby trips Mavididi off the bench. Definite pen. Great intelligent work from Mavididi to use his body there. And for Tawu, I'm going to try something different. Bold, brave, successful! Come on! Fatawu makes it 2. Leicester surely are heading to Wembley. It's going to be a bit of a long episode today, but I hope you guys don't mind, because for the first time we have beaten Chelsea in the save, and what a time to get it. Going to the bridge, massive underdogs, winning in extra time by 2-0. Buzzing with that, and let's end the episode by seeing who will take on at Wembley. Absolutely buzzing. What a time to get our first win against Chelsea in the save, man. And taking on, well, with all due respect, my fingers are crossed there, it's just not Aston Villa. I think we could take out Burnley, I think we could take out Swansea, but I do not want Unai Emery's Aston Villa. But it's going to be them in the semis. It's typical. But that'll do it for today's episode of The Realistic Career, guys. Big thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you had, please drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the next episode, the penultimate one of Season 3, I would say. We'll have the FA Cup semi-final, our first appearance at Wembley, and most of our remaining 9 games in the league, but it's still a very slim shot at a top 7 finish. Have a great day. Much love, and I'll see you for the next episode very soon. Wembley, Wembley. God, get in.